Imagine a name that echoed through Rome like thunder, a phantom haunting the dreams of emperors. For centuries, Rome forged its empire with iron and blood, but a single man dared to defy its destiny. He was Hannibal Barca, the greatest nightmare the Romans ever knew. His life was a maelstrom of glory, unsurpassed tactics, and an unyielding vendetta. Who was this military genius who nearly crushed Roman might? And how did his audacity rewrite the history of the ancient world? Prepare to unveil the saga of a true protagonist. In the heart of Carthage, Rome's naval rival in the Mediterranean, a legend was born. Carthage, a maritime power, controlled vital trade routes. This rivalry with Rome was inevitable, culminating in the Punic Wars. The First Punic War forced Carthage to accept humiliating terms. Hannibal Barca, a Carthaginian general, swore vengeance against Rome. He instilled in his son, Hannibal, this same hatred. At 9 years old, Hannibal made a solemn oath, bathing his hand in sacrificial blood.
I swear that as soon as age permits, I will bring fire and steel to shatter the destiny of Rome.
This oath sealed his fate and that of Rome. Hannibal grew up studying philosophy, writing, and military tactics. He drew inspiration from Alexander the Great, seeking unusual and risky strategies. His education made him cultured and well-versed, crucial qualities for his ascent. In 228 BC, Hannibal died in battle, leaving a power vacuum. Hannibal, at just 26, was elected commander of the army. Veteran soldiers saw in him the energy and fire of his father. He continued his father's campaigns in the Iberian Peninsula. He defeated vast armies, conquering cities and riches for Carthage. Hannibal's fame echoed, reaching the apprehensive ears of the Roman Senate. Rome, seeking to curb Hannibal's rise, formed an alliance with Saguntum in Spain. This was a direct insult to the Carthaginians, violating previous agreements. Enraged, Hannibal besieged Saguntum for 8 months, taking the city. The flames of war reignited between Carthage and Rome. The Romans demanded Hannibal's surrender and compensation, but Carthage refused. The Second Punic War was imminent. Hannibal knew confronting Rome was a colossal risk. He dismissed a sea crossing dominated by the Roman navy. Instead, he dared the unthinkable, marching overland through Spain, Gaul, and the impassable Alps. In 218 BC, his epic journey began with 90,000 warriors, horses, and 40 war elephants. He knew he would need more, recruiting Gauls eager for vengeance against Rome. The Romans were on his trail, but Hannibal diverted, seeking support. The determination of this protagonist was unwavering. The Alps, snow-capped giants, were the next obstacle. Hannibal knew time was crucial, winter was approaching. He hired local guides aware of the dangers. The crossing was an icy hell, with tribal ambushes, hunger, cold, and disease decimating his troops. Men and animals plunged into icy abysses. But Hannibal, with his legendary oratory, spurred his exhausted soldiers onward. Faced with impassable rocks, he declared,
"We will either find a way or make one."
He used fire and vinegar to crack the stones, clearing a path. After 16 days of agony, Hannibal emerged in North Italy, with nearly half of his army lost. The Romans, who considered him mad for crossing the Alps, were seized by panic. He crushed Roman legions at Trebia and Trasimene, accumulating victories. Still, his health took a toll. He lost sight in one eye. In 216 BC, at the Battle of Cannae, Hannibal orchestrated his greatest triumph. With 56,000 men, he encircled and annihilated 86,000 Romans, an unprecedented slaughter. It was the greatest defeat in Rome's history, a blow that reverberated for centuries. Yet, Hannibal did not march directly on Rome, a decision debated by historians. He lacked siege engines and supplies for a prolonged siege. His commander, Hannibal, bitterly remarked,
"Hannibal, you know how to win a victory, but not how to use it."
Rome, with incredible resilience, rebuilt its armies, avoiding direct confrontation. Support from Carthage dwindled. The war exhausted their resources. For nearly 15 years, Hannibal fought on Italian soil, an unsustainable campaign. Finally, in 203 BC, he was recalled to defend Carthage. Scipio Africanus, a young Roman general, had landed in Africa, threatening Carthage. The inevitable clash between the two greatest generals of their era approached. In 202 BC, at the Battle of Zama, Hannibal faced his destiny. Scipio, a master tactician, neutralized Hannibal's formidable war elephants. The legendary Carthaginian cavalry was overcome. Hannibal's infantry, though brave, could not resist Roman discipline. The great Protagonist was defeated for the first and only time in a pitched battle. Carthage surrendered, accepting humiliating terms that irrevocably weakened it. Hannibal, now a politician in Carthage, continued to defy Rome. He sought alliances against his old enemy, forcing him into exile. For years, Rome relentlessly pursued him, even to the fringes of Asia Minor. Tired of fleeing, Hannibal, at 63, took his own life by poisoning. His last letter read,
Let us relieve the Romans of the anxiety they have felt for so long, since they think it too hard to wait for an old man's death.
Hannibal's impact on Rome was immense. The phrase "Hannibal at the gates" echoed for centuries, a synonym for impending calamity. The Romans themselves reluctantly admired him, studying his innovative tactics. The Second Punic War, shaped by his genius, forced Rome to evolve militarily. The story of Hannibal Barca is that of a man who, alone, terrified an empire. He is one of the greatest military strategists of all time. His life is a testament to leadership, resilience, and an indomitable spirit. Hannibal, the Carthaginian protagonist, changed the course of history and remains an inspiration. What other protagonists would you like to see unveiled? Leave your comment and subscribe for more epic journeys.